It's the Harv and Jace show.
All right.
We're back. Wow.
It's been a minute.
Oh my goodness. What the heck? You look good, man.
Yeah, I feel good. But my hiatus kind of was my kidney stuff.
Right.
Like I was on dialysis.
That's what I want to talk about. That's most important.
And
man.
my health was declining due to my lack of paying attention to my well-being, I guess, in my younger years. So I let my diabetes slip on me. That led to kidney disease, which led to me needing a kidney.
Right.
My guardian angel, the love of my life, my beautiful wife,
Brandy,
saved my life. She was actual match. Like I was A+, A positive.
Wow.
And she was an A, which is compatible.
Right. A lot of families are affected with that, man. It's so nice to have you back. We're matching, but I just noticed we're matching right now, so I like that. And as we notice, I got my Six Nations Chiefs hat.
Nice.
This is brand new this year, came out, so I got to support the Chiefs. But how have you been feeling? Because you had the surgery now. Like your beautiful wife stepped up.
Yes, and saved my life. Not the first time ever, but she's there for me, my guardian angel.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's been almost a year now, and I keep getting better every day. And like it's awesome. Like it's just like I got my life back.
I love that, and I know you start feeling like yourself when I start seeing you in Vegas.
Yes.
That's like your second home, right?
Yeah, I love it out there. Like the Golden Knights are my fallback team.
Right.
Fallback team. Leafs are first. Leafs
jersey.
Yeah. I actually have a Panthers jersey at home, but it's got a 62 Montour on it. So hey. But I'm a Leafer all the way.
I know, man. I'm loving the Bulls jersey. Today, man. That's nice.
Got to represent the Rodman. You remember the Worm?
Dennis Rodman. Oh my God, that's crazy. That dude could go like the whole game, get no points, and have like 25 boards.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They said he studied people's shots in practice
so
to see the arc of the ball and where it would, how many turns the ball would take before it hit the backboard or the rim, and he'd know where to go and rebound.
That's amazing.
So he's like a scientist out there.
That's what makes elite players, right? Like Wayne Gretzky used to say the same thing. Like he didn't go where the puck was. People chase the puck in hockey.
Right.
And that's smart. You're trying to get the puck.
But the puck seemed to follow him.
Yeah, that too. But then he said, I like to go where the puck's going. Because he could read the game so well. That
the visionary.
Oh, they're going to throw it on the board, so I'm going to come over here and stop it. That's what an elite player does. He thinks the game like way faster. And,
I'm surprised he wasn't a better coach.
That's shocking, isn't it?
With all the vision he had on the ice and how great he was a player, playmaking, scoring, everything.
But they say people that can't teach, right?
Exactly.
So it might be the opposite, that people who can do can't teach. It's tough. But there are a lot of good coaches that have been former
successful players too.
Like Craig Berube with the Leafs, Ron Francis, Carolina.
Brendamore.
Brendamore. I think Francis is the GM there, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and there's been a lot. But Wayne Gretzky, when he coached Arizona, it did not go very well.
No.
But he didn't have a good team.
No, he didn't have much to work with. If Gretzky had
Florida this year,
or even the Leafs,
I think he would did good.
Yeah,
I like Berube. Man, that's tough. Like, we don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it. The Leafs had a 2-0 lead in round 2 against Florida Panthers, the defending champions.
Yeah, and
they coughed it up.
And they leafed it up again.
They leafed it up. But with a little bit of help from the Florida Panthers and Sam Bennett at elbow.
Right.
But, we're not here to make excuses.
Yeah, we can't.
We take it on the chin,
Right.
Oh.
We're supposed to get back up when we fall down. But they stayed down. When Stolars went down, they stayed down.
Until next year now.
Yeah.
Lots has changed since we last saw each other. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
Guys, if you guys don't know, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, but also you can on demand watch 12 episodes of the Harv Jace show that we filmed exclusively for Bell TV. Exclusively all across Canada. And I'm really proud of that, to have 2 Indigenous national TV hosts. I don't think people understand the levity of that.
Right.
It's that space doesn't really exist, and for us to go and fill that space, like, it's so beautiful,
Right. We're just trying to do our thing inform people, educate people, entertain people.
Right.
And, inform people like what's going on either socially in the media or kind of behind the scenes on our res or in our sports scenes. And
that was the whole reason why we started the Harv Jace show, is because we seen a lack of Indigenous representation in the media. So
it was mostly biased media.
Yeah, the media was telling our stories, and
Yeah.
they weren't Indigenous. Or like, what's up with that? Like, we got to get in there,
Right.
And we never knew it would start from where it went. We just at our kitchen table,
Right.
To a big Bell TV studio,
a national scale,
going across Canada. So it's a beautiful thing. But we have big plans for this show.
Yeah, we want to travel. We want to get out there, maybe get some sponsors. Like, you got some gear you want us to rock? I'll rock it. Give us some beaded earrings, some chokers and stuff.
Yeah, but we just want to keep like evolving, So we want to have like comedy and music, and we want to get out of the studio and go shoot things, because there's things going on right now in Ottawa,
Yeah,
with,
like
Bill
the Bill 5.
Yeah.
Hopefully they kill it. Today is the day they're actually in Parliament talking about it.
And a lot of Indigenous people are against it because it's like taking resources and more things.
It's basically they don't have to consult with our people. They can just go ahead and do what they want.
Exactly. They can supersede.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the government's leisure, right?
Right.
They can say, "Oh, we don't need to consult." Yeah.
And since when has the government's leisure worked in our advantage? Like,
I know.
Never.
And some of the resources that they're trying to get are literally going through Indigenous land.
Yeah, a lot of mining and
Like,
and I know
why?
some leaders are with it because they're going to get paid.
Right.
But for one leader to get paid and the rest of the people to suffer, that's not right.
And not only the rest of the people forever and ever and ever.
Forever and ever.
Think about it, guys. Like, Indigenous people live by 7 generations, right?
Right.
So you have kids, grandkids, right?
Yep.
7 generations, man. What kind of water are they gonna have? What kind of air? What kind of resources? What kind of land? Like, look at 6 Nations. We had everything, and then it went down to 6 miles from mouth to source, right? From like
Grand.
Dungal all the way to
like
Port Dover,
Fergus,
past
Laura,
Fergus, and all
yeah.
that. And now we got this. We only got like 4% of that land again.
Something like that.
And they're still trying to, like Caledonia. That's why
Right.
they're still trying to encroach. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like, our people need to really stand up for our rights
Really do.
and like get active in your community with whatever kind of movement they got going. Just be there for your people.
Exactly. And people always say, and I hear it all the time, I'm only one person, but one person can do a lot of damage.
They can, yeah.
The squeaky wheel,
Right.
Rob Ford going to the rallies that are happening in Ottawa, met your voice, and even us just doing this, getting the awareness out, letting people know about it. And so just do anything you can, man.
Yeah. Like, they said there's going to be a lot of backlash if this bill does go through. Like, he never really saw Mamakwa, the member of Parliament.
Yeah, they kicked him right out of the...
Yeah, they kicked him out for saying the government was saying untruths, which is the truth.
Right. And then they're like, retract that or leave, right? And he wouldn't retract it.
Right.
So he got kicked out. And then, well, a couple people left with him in solidarity too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's scary. And this trade war, everything that's going on in the world right now, it all boils down to money. Like, what?
Right.
Like that famous quote, that when the water's gone, the air's gone, and the food's poison.
Yeah, you can't eat money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what it is. They call it progress.
Right.
Development, but the land is what replenishes.
Exactly.
These resources aren't going to replenish.
It seems so clear, but I know money clouds. They say money is the root of all evil, and I know for a fact that it clouds your judgment and everything.
I believe it is the biggest mind changer. We talk about mind changers in our tradition and culture.
Yeah.
They say booze, drugs, all that. I think money is the biggest mind changer.
Definitely money. There was actually proven that increasing money is the same effect happens to you as someone who's addicted to cocaine. So like that high that they're always chasing, it's the same with money. Like that's how addicting making money is. Isn't that nuts?
I believe it because you see how rich people are investing and just making money off of their money,
right?
And then making money off of that money,
exactly.
And then investing into more to make more money,
right? Who was the guy that was almost a trillionaire, but he got divorced and he had to split it?
Was it Bezos?
Yeah, I think it was Bezos. He's the Amazon guy, right?
Yeah.
He was so close to $1 trillion. You know what $1 trillion is? It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
if
an astronomical number.
If you make $100,000 a year for a million years, that's $1 billion or something. It's some crazy.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that math now. I'm not mathing.
Right.
But
we ain't got no calculator.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So to get to $1 billion, but $1 trillion is 999
billion. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. You don't need $1 trillion.
Right. He could feed the world 10 times over.
Yeah.
Like,
there should be nobody starving, nobody homeless.
No.
There should be nobody that needs a kidney. There should be nobody that needs surgery.
Healthcare, everything, you know.
How
we
are you
should be
gonna have $1
living in
trillion?
a better society, you know, like
Yeah.
we've really lost our ways as human beings.
Right.
It seems.
And that no empathy for people when it fails to have, when life fails to have a value, something's not right, man. Like the morality is a little bit off, in my opinion. Like,
right. Yeah.
I've actually talked to people who are in the industry and really and they're really adamant about, like, we make the money, we work hard for it, we can do whatever we want with it. We don't.
And
have
I
to help
understand
anybody.
that, and I'm on the fence with
great,
both sides, really.
exactly.
Like,
You
if
can
you
do
made the
that.
money, you can do whatever you
Exactly.
like. But at some point, you have a surplus of money that
Literally.
you can't even spend in your lifetime.
Yep.
You could take care of generations of your family.
Of people.
But you could still help others.
And build like a legacy on top of just being rich, right?
Yeah, like I'm more about that legacy.
Yeah.
Than becoming famous, rich, anything. If I could leave a legacy, a withstanding legacy, like
Exactly.
yeah, that's even more important.
I love that you said that, because the other day I got a message from someone that I've never met before. You know, I'm in music and I release music. I just released my new song, Bullet Train, and I got this beautiful message. Somebody requested me, like, and I was like, I look at people, and when I get friend requests, I don't take them all. You know, I just kind of look at them, and I'm like, okay, I'll accept you, but you better like some of my stuff. You know, you better introduce yourself. So I accepted this one guy, and he messaged me a little bit later, and he was telling me about his autistic son, 7 years old, and he has all these routines, right? And he doesn't like change, and they found my music and my new song, Bullet Train. He says it's on repeat, and not only that, my other song. Then he said, it's beautiful, and that little kid, that little Xander, his name is, wanted his dad said, hey, can you reach out to Jace, you know, let him know how much I love his music. And so his dad sent me this beautiful message, and I was like, I love this so much. I asked his dad, like, can I share this? Because it means a lot to me, but not to share it to brag, but to share it to let people know. And it's so important that you do not know the impact that you make. Yeah. You don't know who's watching.
That's invaluable.
Yeah.
Like, there's no amount of dollars that could do anything for that.
No. And that's what I said. Like, even if that was the only impact I made in music, it was worth it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like the people, everyone on Six Nations know who you are. You have no idea what kids are looking up to you, what kids are looking up to me, what kids are looking up to you. And even if you're not famous, guys, your nieces, your nephews, they're your nieces,
your little cousins,
your son's friends.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching you. They're looking at you.
Yeah.
And we can really make an impact that way. Like, I'm telling you, man. You know, lead the way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to Xander.
Xander, I hope you watch the show. He probably will. I will send this to him. So let's shout out Xander, and I appreciate that so much. So lots has changed since we last saw each other. And we have a new prime minister. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Justin Trudeau stepped down. And this is crazy.
And with the new boss, but it's same as the old boss, they say.
Because they're like the same, like the liberal,
the same
right?
party, right? Yeah.
He was working with Trudeau for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Like side by side. He was like, but he was like the money guy for like the Bank of.
He's been an economist his whole career, right? Yeah.
He's good with money. He knows how to make well, so he's going to do a good job, right? So I think that there was a lot of faith in Carney that he could do the same thing with our economy. But the funny thing about Mark Carney, which I thought would hurt him, was that his dad was a former principal in Indigenous Day School. Yeah. And was interviewed once by CBC and said that he believes that some children are culturally, and this ain't my word, y'all, the R word. I can't even say it because I'm on TikTok Live as well.
I read it.
It's bad, the R word. Everyone knows what I mean.
Everybody knows the R word.
Culturally R. And he also worked with many survivors of residential schools, and he later criticized Indigenous-led studies, highlighting the negative effects of these schools as one-sided and imbalanced, saying many had positive experiences. And I hate that because it's almost like I hear that from people a lot.
That's
some people had great experiences.
That's like an abuse victim.
Picking out that Stockholm syndrome or something?
The Stockholm syndrome.
Exactly. But then Mark Carney he was getting asked about it, you know, like because to me, like, institutionalized racism exists, right?
Oh, yeah,
and
it's
we
big
don't know,
time.
We don't know we're racist. Like, we're raised by our parents and grandparents, and we might not be racist, but it's going to be like internally, you know? So
Right.
I think people were kind of like saying, but your dad was like that, so how can you not be like that? You were raised like that, you know? But
Yeah.
Mark kind of came out and said that residential schools and Indian day schools are a long, painful part of our history. He said he and the country have learned of the fundamental damage of residential schools and day schools to those who attend it, and those that are descendants. So I hope he means that, you know?
Yeah, like politicians are going to say what they got to say.
Exactly.
Just
Which was
to,
unfortunate
you know,
about
and it's
politicians.
always been the same.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what happened.
Hopefully, he has a better relationship with Indigenous leaders than the
Yes.
past bodies
deserve
of
it.
government. Yeah,
We deserve it. We deserve to have our voice heard because we have great ideas,
yeah.
you know?
We have ideas that could solve a lot of Canada's problems
Literally, the indigenous,
instead of us being one of Canada's problems.
exactly,
You know?
and us standing up for the resources, the water, the air. That's one of them, you know,
Yeah.
for sustainability, you know, of the
Right.
7 generations, right? That kind of brings me to a really good point about who I've been seeing has been getting so popular in Canada, and I know you have somebody we had on our show before.
Yeah.
Before he became the premier of Manitoba,
Right.
Mr. Wab Canoe.
Yeah, kudos to him. He's really doing it.
Especially during the trade war.
Yeah.
Did you see how intelligent he was protecting Manitobans from the trade war? How he
Yeah.
stood up to Donald Trump? How he was just very
He's nice and direct.
Very
but without
direct.
being aggressive.
Right.
Just being educated about his answers and
Exactly.
his
And
stances.
when I watch politics in Canada, rarely do I see any post about any politician. If you go to the comments, it's just all like bashing them, you know, like this guy,
Yeah.
la la la, bashing them. But this is really crazy. When I go and see a post about Wab Canoe in the comments, I don't know if you've seen this, but it's all like our next PM. This guy should be the next PM. This, you know, this guy should be Prime Minister of Canada. Like, we love it, and it's not just Indigenous people saying that; it's all racists saying that.
Right? Yeah, and that's awesome. That would be insane
It
for
would be
an
so cool.
Indigenous person to be get into as Prime Minister.
Right.
Like, you know, you would really see possibly transparency for the first time.
Wab, remember we interviewed Wab. Wab is the descendant of chiefs. Like, his dad was a
Yeah.
chief, his aunts are chiefs, his
Like
grandmother
traditional
was-
chiefs.
Traditional chiefs, you
Yeah.
know. So he's carries a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge. And I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man, that knowledge that goes back 30,000 years that sustained Indigenous people to live off the land, you know, protect Mother Earth, protect the nature, to build family.
The stewardship, I
The
guess.
stewardship of Mother Earth.
Yeah.
That would be so beautiful to see that kind of wisdom in that kind of leadership, you know?
Right?
Yeah.
It could change a lot of people. Or
But I think the door's open now because Singh stepped down from the head of the NDP now, right? I'm telling you, if they have to vote a new one in, if they don't pick Wab Canoe, he's so popular. He might be more popular than Carney and all them guys, really.
Yeah,
like
I
in
think so,
Canada.
yeah.
He's very, very popular. I don't know if you heard this, but the premier of Alberta, Danielle Smith,
Danielle
Danielle
yeah.
Smith has suggested that Alberta become a part of their own independent country, like what do you call it, seceding or something like that,
Yeah.
and want to be their own country. A poll was done and said if it had a referendum now, 37% of Albertans would agree to separate from Canada. And she said that she has some strong demands to the Prime Minister to support a pipeline. It's all about pipeline and
That's
money
all it is.
and oil.
Yeah.
A pipeline and port to export Alberta oil, gas, other resources through Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic oceans, our freaking water.
Right.
Of course, there's been many Indigenous people that spoke up against that, saying that land doesn't belong to Alberta, which it doesn't, because a lot of those territories are unceded and they've never been
They've never been
Given up?
negotiated for, no treaties written, nothing.
University of Alberta professor Matthew Walcott has said Indigenous people are not subjects of Alberta, which we know.
Right.
And same with Six Nations. We're not subjects of Canada. We're actually
Right.
allies, right, with the British Crown.
Yeah,
right?
we're supposed to be like on
independent on
even
two-row
keel.
canoe, right?
Yes.
Two-row. We're partners, right? And Cindy Woodhouse, Nepanak, National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations, called Smith's approach irresponsible, disrespectful. And she said, of course, we have to take a stand. She added, for our water minerals that we have, and we're not going to consent for Canada and the province to have title to our territories, plain and simple.
Which is, exactly right, because they don't have any precedence over any land.
Right.
But
what's going on all over Canada right now? They're really coming against, why is it only Indigenous people that got to stand up for Canada?
Right.
That's why probably people don't like us, because we stand up, but they always think, oh, they're so aggressive, and but
that's
we're
the only
not
way
standing
people
up for
listen.
us.
Yeah.
We're not saying give us money. We're standing up for water. We're standing up for land. We're standing up for the air.
Yeah. Inherent rights.
Even. And not just ours. Ironically, yours too.
Future generations.
Yeah. So you're bashing us for standing up against the governments and rallying and holding up things. But ironically, it's for your air too, non-natives' air, non-natives' water, your kids too. We're not looking out just for us; it's for everyone. That's what I don't think they get that, man.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah,
we're so looked down upon when we do step up to the plate.
Right.
And then where's our support? we get certain.
We get
groups
maced and thrown around and in handcuffs and smoke bombed and tear gassed. And
everything under the sun.
So crazy, man. The same situation that is happening with Alberta happened in the province of Quebec. In 1995, you might remember.
I vaguely remember them trying to be separatists, the Bloc de Quebecois.
Yep, exactly. They made an assumption that they could take the territory as they understood it, right?
Yeah.
But the Cree, who are the legal owners of the land, argued at the Supreme Court that their territory would not go with Quebec if they separated, and a lot of that mass was Cree, so there couldn't be just these little areas going
little
on,
islands of land.
Yeah, and so Jana Promousley, associate professor at the University of Victoria Faculty of Law, said political ideology does not rule over the treaties. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, you got to fight their words with words.
Yeah, I know, for real. Everything's crazy already after COVID, right? It seems like the onslaught is coming. 2017.
The prices of everything.
It's been 8 years of inflation, of recession, of eggs being $20. You know what I mean?
Right.
What is going on? The average person.
Gas prices, you can really tell.
Exactly.
Going from 45 cents maybe 20 years ago.
It's insane.
To now $1.45.
Yeah, and there was a study that said 80% of Canadians are struggling with bills and living off credit cards and then credit card debt. That's crazy.
And all the homelessness, the tent cities, the
mental issues,
yeah.
The mental issues going through the roof, especially since COVID.
Right.
Oh man, it's crazy what we're dealing with in the world right now, and we wonder why we feel chaotic and a little bit out of place and.
Right.
The world is in this influx, and then you got Israel and Palestine,
the Palestinian stuff,
and you have Russia and Ukraine, and you have it's and that's why a lot.
And then
of
we
people,
got an influx of the refugees from all that fallout.
Exactly.
Coming here, trying to get homes when we already don't have homes for all these people that have been here.
Man. It's just so much, and I know a lot of people that I talked to. They said they don't even read the news because it's heartbreaking.
It's so negative. I just try to watch Sports Center.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it at Sports Center.
So I'm really always interested in the evolution of words and speech. So this is really cool. The most searched phrases of last year. Number one was Sigma. Have you ever heard of Sigma?
I heard it, but I never researched to see what the
Sigma.
The true meaning was.
These kids these days, we had our things when we were kids too, But Sigma, which is a lone wolf or an independent person.
That's
you're very Sigma.
That's quite a cool handle.
It is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of cool. So if someone calls you Sigma, y'all, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you the man.
You the man.
Yeah.
You the man. You the man. Yeah. So and then number two was this one's funny. The old Hawk Tua.
Ooh, Hawk Tua. If she don't Hawk Tua, we don't talk Tua. I heard.
Yeah,
on the internet.
Exactly. That's hilarious. Hawk Tua, and if you don't know what it is, it's kind of it's kind of like don't Google it because then your algorithm's gonna get messed up.
you're just encouraging it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's crazy. But basically, it's just like a spitting sound, you know?
Yeah.
And then it was made famous by a viral video from Haley Welsh. Number 3 was demure.
Demure.
Yeah, very demure.
Yes.
Which means modest, I guess.
Yes. I'm far from demure.
I'm very demure. Very demure. And number 4 was, this one's crazy, skibbity.
Skibbity.
I've never heard of skibbity like that.
Skibbity.
How do people talk about
Skibbity.
skibbity is crazy. But I guess it refers to a viral video about singing toilets.
Whoa.
I have no idea. Don't Google this stuff, guys, because
No.
it's going to mess with your algorithm, y'all. I'm telling you. I think even us just talking about it around our phones is going to
Right.
now skibbity
Now
stuff.
I'm going to have a
Sigma
singing toilet when I open my TikTok. Skibbity.
And then my autocorrect will be autocorrecting to skibbity and Sigma and everything.
Hawktua.
And the Hawktua, yeah. Imagine that. You know, that's how AI works, though, right?
Yeah, it does.
Always listening
They're
and watching.
always listening.
Always listening. It's crazy. No, it's true, though. AI is
Yeah.
getting crazy, bud.
Yeah.
Somebody said when AI was first started how dangerous it could be.
Yeah. John Connor or
Yeah.
Sarah Connor and Terminator 1 people. You should have known back in the 80s this was happening.
But AI is so smart, and somebody actually said that one day you won't be able to tell the difference between AI and reality, you know, especially videos that you see.
A lot of these Photoshop things and stuff you see on the internet. Like,
Exactly. I could take a picture of you right now, put it into that AI, and it could reproduce literally a video of you like saying anything I wanted.
Right.
Say like a racist tirade,
Right.
and I could just take your picture, put it in the AI, and then put out a video of Harv going like, "Oh, I hate so and so," and like, and it's not even you.
Right.
And you know what's scary about that?
World leaders could be doing this.
Yeah, and people will believe it. You know,
Yeah.
people like to believe the bad stuff quick.
Oh, yeah.
But if they find out, even if they find out later that it's not true, they're still gonna have that bias, you know.
Yeah, they're
And
still gonna
that's
have
the
that
danger.
belief.
That's the danger, I think.
Yeah.
Because even if
It
they
can
find,
plant seeds of evil everywhere.
think exactly, and I think every AI video that's made, it should have a watermark. It should have a watermark that you can't get rid
Yeah.
of, you know. But that's a great idea. But then I heard someone say that even if they did that watermark, what it would do is like give the hackers more. Because the hackers could get in there and get that watermark out. The average person couldn't, right?
Right.
So a hacker could get it, and it would make it legit for only the bad people.
Ah.
You know, like the
Yeah, there's
cartels and
a
it's
double-edged
there's-
sword.
We can't win, man.
Right.
We can't win because there's always something or someone evil trying to supersede and trying to bend the rules. And,
Yeah.
and yeah. So
Like
AI is
people
scary, man.
evolve, like criminals evolve.
Yeah.
People evolve.
Exactly.
And everything.
It's so scary. AI is scary, y'all.
Yeah. It's a wild thing.
It's wild. And I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. The world it's wild. Like at one thing you love the progress, and the other thing I hate to degress, you know, because
Right.
if our people aren't happier, and I don't think we are. I've seen people are pretty miserable having credit card debt and can't afford rent, can't afford groceries,
Right.
can't afford a car, can't afford gas. That doesn't seem like a very happy society, you know.
Right? A lot of depression.
A lot of depression, a lot
Yeah.
of mental issues, a lot of divorce
Yeah.
because like contempt and money issues seep
Yeah.
into the relationships. So it's actually affecting the family, you know? Mental health is affecting the family. So that's not good, man. Elon Musk, who I think is an alien, he came out of
I
nowhere.
believe he is. If he's not an alien, he's like a robot cyborg.
Something's going on. He's the first like cloned
Yeah. Yeah.
cyborg, you know, half bionic, half like, I
Right.
don't know what's going on with that guy, but he is so weird. But he does a lot of stuff. He invents a lot of things, you know.
Right.
He's been quoted as saying the biggest threat to civilization is not nuclear war, which a lot of people are scared of.
Right.
But the rapidly declining birth rate is more of a threat, saying statistics are showing that we're not producing enough children. Did you hear this? This is crazy.
I did hear that.
Projections suggest that by century's end, 93% of countries, including the USA, will confront underpopulation given the current trends and trajectory. And for the first time in human history, the human population will stop growing by the end of the century. According to new data from the United Nations, the average age of people is growing from 24 in 1950 to 42 by 2100. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
That's wild.
Like, I can understand
We're dying out.
Yeah, not everybody's having kids, but...
Remember they used to have 13, 15 kids? Both my grandparents, 15, 16 kids, man.
Right. Yeah, like my grandma and my papa, you know, they had 6 kids.
Right.
And that was just modest family.
Exactly. Like my family, I have 5 brothers and 1 sister, right? 7 kids in my family too. So like that, I never heard that. I've never heard that the biggest threat to civilization is underpopulation.
I couldn't believe that we'd be underpopulated.
I know.
Like saying how overpopulated the world is all
right.
the time.
I think that's the twist of the media, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
There's got to be, this is
it's scary. That we could be like...
in decline, like going
backwards.
Yeah. I wouldn't say extinction.
Yeah.
Because people are always going to ski wucks and
right.
reproduce.
Don't Google that either, folks. Don't Google squawks, y'all. That was our Sigma when we were kids, y'all.
That was
that was our Hawk Tua.
Yeah. Ski Wuxen.
Squawk. Oh my God, that's absolutely hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I just find that I love that people need to talk about these things. I'm just so curious of these kinds of things. When I read stuff like that, I'm like, wow, that's. Yeah. And I seen a podcast where he was actually talking about that too. Mm-hmm. So when I seen it again, I was like, oh, we got to talk about that because we got to get that out there. People need to talk about that. It's to me, it's fascinating. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's just wild to believe like how. Maybe 20 years ago, they were saying how overpopulated the world was. Right. All the time.
It's crazy. We got a lot of entertainment news that's been happening. I'm actually going to see, I've never really went to too many concerts. I did when I was younger. Like I went and seen Lauryn Hill. I went and seen Shania Twain. I went and seen Janet Jackson. I went and seen Jay-Z, you know. Eminem, there's been some artists that you've seen over
Oh, yeah. Like, I love concerts. I just most recently went and seen Cypress Hill.
Let's go.
Yeah, they were
singing in the memory.
They were giving her Green Day recently seen.
You seen Green Day?
Yeah.
Didn't they just perform at the Grey Cup? Like they performed
I think
something
they did,
like that, eh? Like they headlined the Grey Cup, I'm pretty sure.
They were at Toronto with like Smashing Pumpkins and Rancid.
That's crazy.
Red Hot Chili Peppers I've seen a couple times. Pink Floyd, like I've seen.
Now he's starting to brag, eh?
Yeah, I'm all about concerts. So if anybody's ever looking for someone to go to a concert with you, I'm game.
It's good though because like I always say, like I'm kind of coming around to it because it is expensive, you know. Okay.
So
but
expensive.
I'm coming around, but like when you're on your last breath, you know, you're not gonna say, "Oh, I wish I didn't spend that money on that Cypress Hill concert." You know,
like I got to see Gord Downey's last performance in Toronto at Scotiabank.
Wow.
And I cried my eyes out that night, like knowing he knew he was dying.
Within
but that
days
night
or weeks,
he gave everything he had, and then it was like so moving that I couldn't hold the tears back.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It was
Gord
beautiful.
Downey was so beautiful, and then the legacy.
Yeah.
Imagine being on your last few years of life, and he dedicated it to Indigenous kids.
Yeah, he dedicated his show that night to the Indigenous people, and
then he has a foundation now, the Downey Wenjack, which I'm very honored to be an artist ambassador for the Downey Wenjack, and they provide a lot of opportunities for me to go out and be in front of non-Indigenous kids and schools to let them know of our experience, to let them know that we're thriving in the music business, because they don't see us thriving out there. That's why it was so important for us to be on Bell TV, man.
They never see the positive stuff.
No, they don't get shown that.
Our channels.
They just see the homelessness, the drunkenness on the streets,
the violence that were protesters.
The jails are overpopulated with Indigenous people in Canada. That's why it's so important for us to do our show and then to have the national show on Bell TV. And man, I got recognized a lot from that show, man. Like Niagara Falls and stuff. We go like, "You're Jace Martin from Harv Jace." I'm like, "Yeah," and like even I played in Senior C with the Tomahawks. You remember?
Yeah.
And non-native teams, they're like. Literally, this is so true. I'd be warming up, and I would hear them on the other team. Never met them in my life. They'd be going, "It's the Harv and Jace show," and I'm like, "This is so cool." The positivity that we put out, because we did 12 shows for Bell, and we highlighted 12 Indigenous success stories.
Yeah,
Brandon
like
Montour,
amazing humans.
Yep, so many great stories of people thriving.
Yeah,
you know, not just surviving,
succeeding, and like trying to.
And elite.
Even keep succeeding.
Exactly,
keep
and
the
then
success
provide
going.
opportunities for others too, you know.
Right.
And then
Opening doors and
exactly. So we got to showcase 12. We interviewed 12 amazing stories, and we got to showcase 12 amazing musicians, dancers.
yeah.
What's better than that, man?
Right, and that's what we are here to do:
Exactly.
educate,
Empower,
and entertain.
Exactly. That's
The
what it's
3
all
E's.
about, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
I love that so much, man. But this was crazy. I'm going to see. I'm very excited about this. Coldplay is coming to Toronto, and in July. So I got tickets to floor tickets to go
Nice.
see Coldplay.
That'll
But
be epic.
it is going to be epic. I am such a big Coldplay fan, and I've just been seeing videos of their tour because they're on tour right now from the shows that are happening. And there's going to be 60,000 people there when I go to. But
What venue?
The new Rogers Stadium at Downsview Park in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be so good. But I'm seeing the videos now because they're touring and they're on their way here from the shows. And it's electric, bro. Like electric. The light show, the people dancing and celebrating. I'm so excited for it. It's coming very soon. But then about a week after that show, I've always wanted to see Wiz Khalifa. Mm-hmm. And so Wiz Khalifa's coming to the Budweiser stage, and Sean Paul's opening for him.
Nice.
Like July 12th or something.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, I'm going to see Coldplay. And like, these guys so I got tickets to go see Wiz Khalifa too, because I just always wanted to see Wiz Khalifa. I don't know why.
He's a good entertainer. I've never seen him, but
me neither.
I've seen he's just an entertainer. He's a good
and I love
good
Sean
voice.
Paul. They kind of pushed me over the edge too. I've never seen Sean Paul either.
Yeah.
I know a lot of all his songs, you know.
Yeah.
Very, very excited. But people love music. Taylor Swift brought her Eras tour, which has been the
I was in Toronto during that fiasco, and it was crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Like crazy.
Crazy.
Like everybody
people,
there was
the
there.
excitement.
Yeah. Like the setup outside of the Rogers Center was insane.
Yeah, did you see like the bracelet they had right on the side of the crazy?
And everybody, all the kids walking around with bracelets, adults, everybody
know,
trading bracelets.
It was Taylor Swift mania in Toronto.
Yeah.
She came out there for six sold out shows. That's a lot of sold out shows.
That's a whole week's worth.
Yeah,
right?
she's just unbelievable. But good on her for doing that, because she knows Toronto's a big market. One show was you would leave so many disappointed.
I think
people.
she only had so many stops in Canada.
Yeah, she
too,
did
right?
Toronto
so
and Vancouver.
Toronto and Vancouver, yeah.
And then so people from Winnipeg and they had to
go back.
Where am I driving to?
Provinces.
You know? Yeah. The Eras tour is the highest grossing tour of all time, raking in almost $2 billion from 121 shows, where Taylor sings at her shows. At least you get your money's worth. 40 songs, and she performs 4 hours every night.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's insane.
As
like,
a singer,
to even perform 1 hour,
my throat hurts just
or
thinking
even
about
sometimes even more than a half-hour set. I can wreck you.
That can wreck you. The very popular band Soundgarden.
Love them. I actually seen them in concert when I was like 17.
Wow, you've seen everybody.
Yeah.
Good God. They're actually planning releasing its final album with Chris Cornell, the late great Chris Cornell.
One of the most beautiful singers of our generation.
Passionate singers.
Yeah.
Vulnerable. Wears heart on his sleeve, you know?
Yeah.
The band is releasing it as a tribute to the former lead singer, who unfortunately took his own life in 2017 in a Detroit hotel room after performing a concert. This always gets me. After performing a concert earlier in the night at the Fox Theater. That's crazy.
Yeah, like
just got done performing something that you like.
It was very shocking when it happened. Yeah, because he was on top of the world.
But Soundgarden was announced as nominees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2025, so I think they're being inducted.
Yeah, I'd say they're shoo-ins. Like, there's no way they can't make it.
I know.
Looking at some of the other bands that have made it.
What a bigger impact than that. They were right there with Nirvana, all of them when they came on Pearl Jam.
All the Seattle scene. Yeah, that was a great time.
That was a great time to be alive, man.
Yeah, that was real music
Kurt
made
Cobain
by real people.
And Kurt Cornell. Oh my goodness.
Eddie Vedder.
Like come on, like that's
Alice in Chains.
Amazing.
What a time.
What a time. The best thing about it is we have Spotify and YouTube, and we can relive those moments, you know.
Really? Like my playlist mostly consists of 90s and early 2000s music. I got some modern stuff on there, but you know.
Nowadays the music seems like it's like it's like it's hot for a week or two and everyone forgets about it, never listens to it again.
Right.
And that's not cool.
Right.
We listened to it when we were kids. We're still listening to it now.
Right.
That's what real
Wu-Tang
music
is for the children.
Literally. The Buffalo Bandits are one of our favorite teams.
Back to back to back. That's wild.
National Lacrosse League. Think about that. You know how hard that is? They are league back to back to back, 3-time NLL champions. That's crazy in any sport to win once.
You know what's even crazier though is Matt Vince. He's done it twice now.
He's went back to back 3 times
with the
twice.
Nighthawks and now with the Bandits.
Matt Vince,
man. Vino.
That's
probably
crazy.
one of the best goalies around.
The championships follow that guy around.
Yeah.
They're led by the legend himself, one of the greatest to ever lace them up.
The original JT.
John Tavares, not the one for the Leafs.
No.
The actual, his uncle,
his
right?
uncle, yeah.
His actual uncle, John Tavares, one of the greatest, arguably the greatest to ever play the game.
You
remember watching him with the Chiefs back in the day?
He was amazing then. And he still played with them 4 years ago?
Yeah.
They were short some men.
Exactly.
He suited up and
He's
got a couple goals,
old.
yeah.
So John Tavares is the coach for the Bandits that won 3 in a row now. Mm-hmm. And he's also the coach for the Six Nations Chiefs.
Yeah.
Who are back-to-back national Man Cup champions.
Looking for a three-peat.
They look unbeatable again this year because
They got Josh Byrne this year.
That's crazy.
And that's insane.
Byrne and Dane Smith, who just won with Buffalo.
And dad with Cody.
Yep.
Randy.
Lyle Thompson.
Insane.
Justin Martin. Latrell Harris.
They
signed Latrell Harris too from the Toronto Rock. 2 of the best transition guys in the NLL play for the Rock. And Tyson Bell.
That's a loaded team.
Then they got Dougie Jameson, who's arguably
Warren Hill.
I know, right? Everyone that runs out there is
All-star.
Unbelievable. So if you need to come to a Chiefs game, because I do the music at the Chiefs games, so I'm at every game. But the weekend games always has a lot of people there. The playoffs is packed, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But I just did the game for them on Tuesday. They won 11-3, and there was a lot of seats left. You guys, I kind of think we take them for granted, you know.
I think we do too. All our teams down here.
Yeah,
we're
really
so lacrosse rich.
Yeah.
Then, we could go to a game almost every night and
Literally.
see quality lacrosse.
Quality lacrosse. But I'm just man, we pay so much money to go to Buffalo Bandits, to go see the Toronto Rock, go see Halifax Thunderbirds. But they're all playing for the Chiefs.
Right.
We could see them for $12.
Yeah.
And close. You're up in the arenas, you can't see too.
There's not really a bad seat.
Yeah, the ILA is literally all premium seats, for $12. So make sure you come to check out the Chiefs schedule and make sure you come.
Tuesday nights mostly are the home games.
Yep, Tuesdays. Yep. It's so fun. They're amazing. And speaking of sports, we're into sports a little bit. The OHL's London Knights just won the freaking Memorial Cup.
Yeah, with all thanks to the Leafs' great prospect, Easton Cowan.
Easton.
I think he's going to be Mitchie's replacement in Toronto. I don't want to get rid of Marner.
I know, right?
Toronto,
we don't want to speculate. Yeah. I don't want him to leave.
I don't really either, because he's a generational player.
Yeah, Matthews, Nylander, and Marner to stay, because there's 100-point players do not grow on trees. He's 97 points, 98 points, 99 points.
Consistent.
And then 102, right? That's a lot of production, man.
Yeah. He's always been consistent. He's not a big guy, but he's on-ice vision is crazy.
Exactly.
His playmaking skills.
Yep, so I think the Maple Leafs are going to do a lot of changes, but I just really hope we don't lose Marner. Easton Cowan, we talked about the Leafs, just won the Memorial Cup with the London Knights. He was named the MVP of the Memorial Cup. Imagine being the best player of all the teams in junior in Canada. That's insane. And he's going to be playing with the Leafs next year. He turned 20.
Right.
Austin Matthews came to the Leafs when he was 18, so not a lot of people can do that.
Right.
He's 20 now. He's got to be close, man.
He's got to be mature enough. He's got to be bigger than Nick Robertson anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Or Marner, too. Marner's a small dude, man. And Cowan, as you remember, had the 65 straight regular season scoring streak snapped this season.
65 games. That's almost a full season in the OHL.
Of scoring every night. Talk about consistency.
Right.
But the Leafs made it to the second round of the NHL playoffs this year, which we were so excited for. They had a 2-0 series lead on the defending Cup champs. But our number one goalie, Stolarz, was elbowed in the head by Sam Bennett.
Concussed.
took right out of the playoffs, and we had to go with Joseph Wool, who came in cold.
He came in cold, but he did okay.
Wool didn't play for weeks and weeks and weeks. He didn't remember.
I think it was a month he hadn't played.
Stolars went on an 11-game win streak to end the season. Remember that?
Yeah.
He was on an 11-game win streak, then won like 4 in a row or 3 in a row in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So he's on this big streak. Hot as ever.
Oh, yeah.
And then he hasn't played in a month. It's hard to ask someone to come in and do that.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, you don't want to pull a
he
hot
played
tender.
admirably, though. Took it to Game 7.
Yeah.
But 2 of the games, 6-1. Crazy.
Game 5 and Game 7, both on Leafs home ice.
Yeah, but the Edmonton Oilers are back in the hunt for the Cup. They were actually beaten by the Florida Panthers last year in 7 games, right?
Which was awesome because our boy Brandon Matour got to bring the Cup home. And that was awesome.
That was awesome.
On Game 7 was actually the day I got out of the hospital from my transplant.
Crazy, man.
I got to get home to watch Game 7.
Brandon. Our own from Six Nations, where we're filming right now.
Yeah.
Brandon Montour is from here. We're proud. We love Brandon. And Brandon's been on our show.
Yeah.
Woo! Brandon's been on our show twice. He did our show here, and he did our show when we did the Bell TV one as well. You guys can watch that actually on demand if you have Bell TV, Bell 5 TV. They're starting to post the episodes again. Like now, I've seen the first one we did with Brendan.
Yes.
Brendan Anderson. Yep, from the OHL champions.
Yep.
Hamilton.
Yep.
So yeah, you can watch those shows. Make sure you go watch them and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Give us some good reviews.
Give us some good reviews,
good feedback.
Comments, likes, shares. Yeah, exactly. Another Canadian is the MVP of the NBA.
Hamilton boy.
A
Hamilton boy, which is just down the road.
Literally, just up the road.
Yeah.
A hop, skip, and a jump from us.
Yeah.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander from Hamilton was named the NBA's MVP this season, playing for OKC.
Yeah, the Thunder.
Becoming the second Canadian behind Steve Nash to win MVP in the NBA. And Steve Nash did it back-to-back.
Yeah, Steve Nash was exceptionally good. But SGA, he is like Jordan.
He is. He can do what he wants.
2K, whatever now.
Yeah, he can do what he wants. The athleticism, the leadership, the drive to win and succeed is phenomenal. In that
he just oozes success.
Oozes aura and swagger and success.
Like he's a great spokesman.
Yeah, he led the league in points again, like 32 points or something a game.
Yeah.
A game. Every game. Yeah. How do you do that?
He went over 30 points. Like I think it was 20 games almost in a row, which is crazy. Nobody since Jordan has done that.
That's absolutely insane. Nash won it twice back-to-back in 2005 and 2006, and he's going up against Shea's in the championship right now.
Yeah.
With going for the NBA championship against the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
Who have somebody recognizable to us as well.
Spicy P.
Pascal Siakam is playing, and he's dominating for the Indiana Pacers.
He is.
now.
Like he's like the new face of their franchise.
He is. He really, and it was supposed to be Halliburton, right?
Yeah.
And Halliburton's Halliburton's doing Halliburton things, obviously.
Right.
But Siakam was named Eastern Conference
MVP
over Halliburton.
He's got that championship drive in him from the Raptor days.
He learned from Kawhi.
Yeah.
The best guy you could learn from.
Right.
Yeah. So then, and this is really cool. Carrie Lee, our good friend Carrie Lee Weiss.
Yep.
From Six Nations, her along with a lot of other athletes from Six Nations like Miquan Taupin, who's a legendary female field lacrosse player.
Yeah.
They're being inducted into the North American Indigenous Athletics Hall of Fame this weekend coming up.
Congratulations,
exactly,
lady.
It's so good. There's a lot of them, like Chelsea Doolittle.
I know Chelsea.
Kenley Jacobs.
Yeah.
All the girls that were on the first ever Haudenosaunee Nationals team.
And they all play for like the Attack down here too, right?
Exactly, the Grand River Attack.
Yeah.
But they went and played for the first ever Haudenosaunee Nationals women's box lacrosse, and they won bronze. Like Canada and America always
they're dominating.
Mostly. But they won their first medal, and they're honored with a leadership award from Six Nations, and then they're inducted into the North American Indigenous Athletics Hall of Fame in the team category. As a team, isn't that beautiful?
That's awesome.
Like it's a team sport.
It's an accolade for all those ladies. So yeah.
Yeah, that's so
Kudos
good.
to y'all.
We love that. We love that so much. Carrie Lee Weiss was also gifted a ribbon skirt for being inducted into the athlete category on her own.
Right.
As she's
a softball
pitcher, third baseman.
Yeah.
For Team Canada.
Right.
So, what an athlete. Come on now.
She's got her hands in everything. I think she was running a fitness program at
For
one
the
time
kids
too.
Yep. Carrie's amazing. I love Carrie. So we got to
That's
shout her out.
athleticism.
We got to
at its
shout her
finest.
out, man.
We'll have to get her on the show one time.
We do.
You know, she's
can.
one we haven't gotten yet.
That's somebody we haven't talked to. I'd love to talk to her.
Yeah.
Because that drive to win, the
pedigree.
and humble.
Yeah.
Like Brandon.
Yeah.
What it is about our Indigenous athletes? They're very humble, eh?
I think they know the stage they're on and the role they play with all the
And
youth.
the little kids looking up to them.
Yeah, like that's got to pump your tires and that's
freaking
got to
love that,
inspire.
man. I absolutely love that. I think that's pretty much caught up on a lot of the things that are happening right now that concern Canada, concern Indigenous people.
Some of our viewers, if you have suggestions of somebody you would like us to
tag them in the chat, tag them in the comments who you want to see on the Harv Jace show. We are back. And I love it. I'm excited to be here. I was excited when you got here. Even to see you and to see us back, and because you're healthy now, and I see you in
feeling
Vegas.
good.
That's when I seen you in Vegas. I was like, okay, maybe I gotta reach out to him and say, hey, and I gotta start building the set again. You know?
Yeah.
I'm very happy to see you.
Well, next time I'm in Vegas, I'll actually take some video that is appropriate
for the show. That would be great.
Yeah. Maybe I get some street interviews.
Yeah, that would be great, man. Do that. We want to thank Everett Jacobs, our switch man over there, are taking care of us. I thank everyone that's a part of the Harv Jace show.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who views and supports our stuff.
Exactly. And subscribers.
Yeah.
I got to shout out Artie Martin, who is one of our production consultants on the show, and also Shane Paulus, who is just an invaluable well of information.
Yes.
Helped us with our production, but not only that, I'm very proud of this. When we were doing the Harv Jace show, the bigwigs at Bell, right?
Yeah.
They meeting there like, Jace, like, you can't do everything. Like, you need, like, your show needs a producer. You need a producer to overlook all the things that you focus on the quality of the show. And
the fine details.
Yeah, exactly. We need a producer to make sure that it goes good, right? And so they were suggesting all these really, and I would have loved any of them because they're really great experience.
Established,
done great shows, had a great resume, but they're non-native. And I really fought to say, I want an Indigenous producer. Can I get an Indigenous producer?
Right.
And I suggested Shane. And Shane had to go in a meeting with them, like, and then they were firing all these questions at him, and he was so good, and they ended up giving him the job. But I'm very proud of that too.
Yeah.
Not only we showcase Indigenous artists, we got to have an all Indigenous crew, caterers, cameramen,
sound
guy, editors, producers. That's what I'm really proud of. We provided,
the Red Door was awesome for our production.
Through the Red Door where we filmed. Because Bell wanted us to, they said we could use their studios in Toronto and everything. I was like, I really fought for it to be really homegrown.
Yeah, and it's all like Six Nations.
All Six Nations people.
Yeah.
And that makes me so proud, man. I'm very proud to be from Six Nations. I'm very proud to have a small role, and I'm sure you are, to be a voice.
Our ambassadors of some sort.
To get the word out there, to raise awareness of Six Nations, that we are still here, and I just thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate everything, and I just want to say on behalf of everyone, we're so happy that you're doing well, man.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go, and we will see you guys again next time on the Harv
Jace show.
DJ Shub, take it away.
It's the Harv and Jace show.